All right. So if you don't know the AGCO company, you probably know one of our brands or have seen it before. So that's a little bit about what is Fuse. We just kind of talked a little bit about that. But, how can AGCO leverage this technology? So what we noticed in the past was AGCO dealers were actually, for our customers, a customer would order something like an accuracy upgrade, and we'll talk a little bit about what that is. They would order that from different vendors like Trimble, Novatel, Topcon, the ones AGCO, the big ones AGCO uses. So they would, depending on where they were in the world, because we were a company of acquisition. So let's say if they're in EME, they use some sophisticated Excel spreadsheet. They were in North America, they were picking up the phone calling. And they were doing all these different versions of the same thing around the world. So we had to figure out a way to kind of standardize and commonize that. And we came up with feature unlock. So, there were technical challenges around that, as all things are. And I'm going to walk around a bit again. So one of the technical challenges was in the regions, if you're at EME, Europe, Middle East, they were using an old, it was an old mainframe system for the parts. If you were in North America, they were using something called CPS, which was a derivative of J.D. Edwards. If you were in South America, they were using another derivative of J.D. Edwards. So we had to bring all of this together under the feature unlock umbrella. Second thing was we had to manage these third-party suppliers or vendors. So like Topcon, Novatel, every one of the vendors did things a little bit different. We tried to standardize that as much as we could with connections to the vendors. The overall goal, one place for a dealer to go, one place to order upgrades and subscriptions. Deliver that common user interface. So if a dealer in South America is looking at feature unlock versus a dealer in North America versus a dealer at EME, they were looking at the same screen. Maybe different products, but the same screen. So we kind of standardized that. And also it had to follow what we call the AGCO parts system. So at AGCO, everything is a part number. So we're part of the parts division. So when you think of an upgrade or a subscription, it's a part number. Just like a windshield wiper, a tire, an exhaust fan, it's a part number. So we had to kind of follow that model. So these were some of the technical challenges that we and hurdles that we kind of had to overcome. I love this slide. It's a great slide that was put together. But it talks about the UI. If you're looking at in the upper kind of corner, the UI, the global UI for feature subscriptions management. And then if you come over to the regions, it's where we connected to all the different regional systems on the back end. So they had some awesome ways through APIs that they did some connections and managed those connections. We also had connections to the vendors. So again, Topcon, Novatel did things about the same. Device Insight, totally different. So some of them may have been API synchronous. Others may have been FTP. But we all did that. It was a one-stop kind of shop when you went to feature unlock. It actually connected in that back end. And we had a database to manage all of these features, all these upgrades. So today, if you put in a specific VIN number or a specific serial number of a feature we've done in the past, we can pull that up. You'd be amazed at AGCO being an $8 billion+ company, how data was so spread out and done so many different ways. We're trying to bring that together now, but you'd be amazed at how different things were done. So part of this process and part of what we're going to talk about a little bit is bringing all of this stuff together. We had connections over the air through auth codes or through an electronic diagnostic tool to our core technology. So this is the stuff that goes on the tractors. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, accuracy upgrades, Veridoc Tastoc, NTO3, and CEA, which stands for Common Electronic Architecture. I'm not going to get into too much detail on the technical slide. Developers insist that you put something in there to talk about technical stuff, which we love, but we'll stick to a little bit more high level. What I do want you to know is that the public API was Node.js, and we had MongoDB as our database. The user interface was in React, and of course we hosted on Heroku, and our internal APIs were hosted on Docker. All right, so why did we develop this solution? Data collection, and I keep saying it, data is gold today. Systems, great. Databases, great. The data, when we can take that data and it become information for actually AGCO and then the customer, that's when you have that goal. I keep hearing digitalization. we've been talking about digitalization for years. It's just kind of coming together as this is what it is, digitalization now. But data is that gold, and we're centralizing and cleaning up that data. Also, it gives us the ability to report and do analytics on that data, which is golden because this is where it got interesting. So subscriptions and upgrades, we were following the model that the customer was doing out in the field. So, they wanted accuracy upgrades, they wanted terminal upgrades, all of this great stuff. Now we're getting data from telemetry boxes, so telematics, and we have the two-way communication. Now that data that we're getting is driving the subscriptions that we sell. So literally, our customer is telling us what to sell them. Make sense? All right. Standardize the process to dealers. Of course, dealers were doing things all kind of ways. We standardized that process. And then the incremental revenue stream. So I'm a tech guy, right? When you have to sell this system to the higher ups, you kind of sell it as a cool technology. This is going to be really cool. It's going to be really great for AGCO. Has this benefit. What most people want to hear is, what kind of revenue is it going to bring me? So 2016, we went live. All right? Approximately about 1,800 orders went through the Feature Unlock system. That kind of surprised them. Oh, I didn't know we were doing that many. It's not a lot, but it's okay. System was live, didn't have a lot of vendors, didn't have a lot of regional systems hooked to it. 2017, we hooked a few more regional systems, a few more vendors. Approximately 5,600 orders. So we almost tripled that next year. And we're talking about monthly subscriptions, okay? Monthly recurring revenue to AGCO. 2018 today, to present, we're doing about 8,100 orders. Projected for about 10,000 towards the end of the year. And this was all on kind of selling a little bitty specific part of the system. We can do these upgrades and subscriptions. But as the customer is telling us more data, the more subscriptions we can sell, the more we can kind of slice that. And the better we're able to affect our customer. 2019, we're projected over 20,000 orders. All right, I'm looking at my time here. I think I'm doing okay. I'm going to switch this over in a second. But sales by product. So if you look at the highlighted parts section, we're part of parts, of course. It's only 16% of AGCO's revenue. So I want you to kind of just remember that 16% number. It's a smaller percentage, and we're a percent of that percent. And we're making some waves. All right, so if you're looking at North America, second largest region, 22%. South America, third largest region. EME, Middle East, the largest region, 56% of our sales by region, okay? 56%. We only have three locations on, Germany, UK, and France in EME. There are 31 more to go, okay? So that gives you an idea of the scope and how this thing can kind of grow. Asia Pacific, it's worth mentioning because there's, that 9% maybe a year or two ago was like maybe a half or 2%. So they're growing pretty fast. To talk a little bit about what we give the customer, accuracy upgrades. So if you saw in the video where the farmer was actually pulling a planter behind the tractor and it makes those straight lines, you see the crop circles. But what the accuracy upgrade does, like Tesla can drive, they have this software that drives cars, our telematics can drive tractors. So it makes the lines, which are called way lines, about a centimeter in accuracy from the point in which you start and the point in which you finish. So it helps maximize how much that planter is planting. Just give you an idea. I won't go into Veridoc task doc. I'll tell you a little bit about it. Before, there are these task files that a farmer gets every day. And what they would do is they would take a USB drive or a data card, run out to the terminal, stick that USB drive at the end of the day, download that task data, bring it back, put it in their laptops. Farm information systems would download that information. It'll tell them about their crops and some of their land, soil moisture, all kind of information. Today, we sell that as a subscription. We communicate that over the air. There's no need for a USB drive. We can communicate that stuff. AGCO got smart, AGCO connectivity module, the ACM. Now we created our own AGCO telemetry device, right? Two-way communication, tells us more about the customer. And eventually, this is what is driving our data, and this is what is driving our subscriptions. All right? The future. Let's talk about that. You know, I can read off these points and these bullets for you, you know, creating personalized, you know, customer portals, great things. Continue to centralize and effectively use data, great things. Let's talk about it. Let's put it in a practical sense. Today, a farmer goes out and he does his crop yield every day. When he has to order a subscription or upgrade through Feature Unlock, he's going to his dealer or he's calling his dealer and he's making that order. In the future, because we have this data, we want a farmer to be sitting in the actual cab of his tractor, or he's at his farm, and either through a mobile device or through the terminal, he's able to order that upgrade or subscription over the air. Activates, so when we're doing gold harvest, which is about this time of year in the United States, or we're doing green harvest, they're able to order the subscriptions and upgrades that are pertinent to them. So that's some of the future stuff. Create master data, of course, we're trying to do that. The analytical tools, you know, you can't say enough about them. You know, as you kind of dig on the process and you analyze that data, what are we missing? So this is what we know today. This is what my team can kind of present to upper management, to leadership. What don't we know? You know, as we kind of pull more of this data, you know, sky's the limit. Again, I'll say it. Said it at the beginning and say it at the end. Data today is gold. We sell tractors, okay? We sell machines. But data is very important to us till we put an entire initiative around it. All right. Our partner in IT was Ilegra. Helped us build Feature Unlock. I can't say enough about them. Great partner. We are a manufacturing plant. We are a manufacturer of tractors. We do that well. Find partners that do other things well, like IT, infrastructure, and we augment them with us. All right?